2-year-old Lily Rodriguez had slipped through a gap in her daycare's playground fence and wandered toward the busy 4-lane highway that ran just 200 yards behind the facility, drawn by the colorful trucks and cars that looked like toys from her toddler perspective. Within minutes, she had reached the edge of Highway 87, where vehicles traveled at 65 miles per hour, and drivers had no reason to expect a small child to appear on the roadway. Traffic was heavy during the afternoon rush hour, creating a death trap that would claim Lily's life within seconds of her stepping onto the asphalt. But Bandit, a street-smart Border Collie mix who had been surviving on his own for months, spotted the toddler's dangerous trajectory and made a split-second decision that defied every survival instinct. For 23 minutes, Bandit used his body as a living barrier between Lily and oncoming traffic, herding her away from the road's edge while barking frantically to alert both drivers and potential rescuers that a child was in mortal danger on one of the state's busiest highways. Welcome to Saved by Tales. Before we dive into this heart-stopping story of street survival meeting protective instinct and a homeless dog risking everything to save a life he'd never met before, tell me in the comments, have you ever witnessed a stray animal's protective behavior toward children or their ability to sense danger that humans missed? And if you believe these incredible stories of forgotten animals becoming instant heroes deserve to be shared, hit that subscribe button and join our community celebrating the four-legged guardians who see no difference between their family and any child who needs protection. Bandit had been living on the streets of San Antonio for 8 months, surviving through a combination of intelligence, caution, and the kind of street smarts that kept homeless dogs alive in urban environments where every day presented new dangers. The Border Collie mix was lean but healthy, having learned which restaurants discarded edible food, which areas were safe for sleep, and how to avoid both animal control and the dangerous humans who sometimes threaten stray animals. The dog had originally belonged to a family who had moved away and left him behind, but Bandit had adapted to his new reality with remarkable resilience. His Border Collie genetics gave him intelligence and problem-solving abilities that made survival possible even in challenging circumstances. Bandit's territory included the area around Sunshine Daycare, where he had learned that children sometimes dropped snacks through the playground fence, and where kind staff members occasionally left water bowls for him. The dog was cautious around humans, but had developed a protective interest in the children who played in the daycare's outdoor area. "There's a stray dog that hangs around here sometimes," daycare director Maria Gonzalez had mentioned to parents. "He seems gentle and keeps his distance, but we're working with animal control to find him a home." What Maria didn't realize was that Bandit's presence around the daycare wasn't random. The intelligent dog had appointed himself as an unofficial guardian for the children who played there, understanding their vulnerability and the dangers that surrounded the facility. Sunshine Daycare prided itself on safety protocols and secure facilities, but years of weather and normal wear had loosened one section of the playground fence in an area partially hidden by overgrown bushes. The gap was too small for older children to notice or use, but it was just large enough for a determined 2-year-old to squeeze through. 2-year-old Lily Rodriguez was an adventurous toddler with the kind of curiosity that made constant supervision essential. During outdoor playtime, while teachers were focused on organized activities with the larger group, Lily's attention was captured by the colorful vehicles visible beyond the fence. From her toddler perspective, the cars and trucks moving along Highway 87 looked like the toy vehicles she played with at home, bright, interesting, and worthy of closer investigation. She had no understanding of speed, weight, or the lethal danger that traffic represented to a small child. "Pretty cars," Lily said to herself as she discovered the gap in the fence, and squeezed through with the determination that only curious toddlers possessed. The daycare's outdoor area included landscaping and small hills that blocked clear sightlines between the playground and the highway, so Lily's escape went unnoticed by the staff members who were supervising 15 other children during their scheduled outdoor time. Once through the fence, Lily began walking toward the highway with single-minded focus on the colorful vehicles that continued to capture her attention. The distance between the daycare and the road was approximately 200 yards of open field, giving her enough space to build momentum toward a destination that would be instantly fatal. Bandit spotted Lily's escape within moments of her leaving the daycare property. The Border Collie's intelligence and protective instincts immediately recognized the danger, a small child heading directly toward high-speed traffic with no awareness of the threat she was approaching. The stray dog's first response was to bark toward the daycare, hoping to alert staff members to the emergency. But the distance and ambient noise meant his warning calls didn't reach the teachers who were focused on managing the children still in their care. Realizing that human help wasn't immediately available, Bandit made a decision that would save Lily's life. The dog bolted across the open field, using his speed and agility to intercept the toddler before she could reach the highway's edge. "Doggy," Lily exclaimed with delight when Bandit reached her, having no understanding that the dog was engaged in a life-saving rescue mission. Bandit's approach to protecting Lily demonstrated the intelligence and herding instincts that Border Collies had been bred for over centuries. Instead of trying to grab or physically restrain the toddler, which could have frightened her into unpredictable movement, Bandit positioned his body as a living barrier between Lily and the highway. When Lily tried to continue walking toward the road, Bandit moved to block her path, gently but firmly redirecting her movement away from the traffic. When she attempted to go around him, the dog adjusted his position to maintain the protective barrier while keeping her calm and unafraid. "Move, doggy," Lily said, trying to push past Bandit toward the colorful cars that continued to hold her attention. But Bandit was relentless in his protective positioning, using his body weight and intelligent movement to prevent Lily from reaching the road's edge while avoiding any actions that might cause her to panic or run in unpredictable directions. The Border Collie's herding techniques were sophisticated and purposeful, designed to manage Lily's movement without creating additional stress or danger. While maintaining his physical barrier between Lily and the highway, Bandit began a systematic barking pattern designed to attract attention from multiple sources. His calls were loud, persistent, and clearly distressed, the kind of vocalizations that communicated emergency to anyone who heard them. The dog's barking served multiple purposes, alerting drivers to the presence of a child near the roadway, calling for help from potential rescuers in the area, and maintaining his own position as protector while signaling the urgency of their situation. Several drivers on Highway 87 noticed the dog barking frantically near the road's edge and began slowing down, though most couldn't immediately see what was causing the animal's distress. The combination of unusual animal behavior and the dog's positioning near traffic was enough to make alert drivers more cautious. "There's something wrong with that dog up ahead," one driver told her passenger as they approached Bandit and Lily's location. "It's acting like it's trying to warn us about something." 23 minutes after Lily's escape from the daycare, her absence was finally noticed during the transition from outdoor to indoor activities. Teacher Sarah Martinez conducted the routine head count and realized that Lily was missing from the group. "Lily? Lily Rodriguez," Sarah called, scanning the playground area before alerting other staff members to begin an immediate search. The search of the playground and indoor areas revealed the gap in the fence, and staff members immediately understood that Lily had escaped the secured facility. Maria Gonzalez called 911, while teachers spread out to search the surrounding area. The first searcher to spot Lily was teacher Robert Kim, who climbed a small hill behind the daycare and saw the remarkable scene unfolding near the highway, a stray dog maintaining protective position around a small child while barking frantically at the edge of one of the city's busiest roads. "I found her," Robert radioed to the other searchers. "She's near the highway, but there's a dog protecting her from the traffic." The rescue of Lily required careful coordination to avoid frightening either the child or the protective dog into dangerous movement toward the highway. Emergency responders arriving on scene recognized that Bandit had been conducting a professional-level protective operation and planned their approach accordingly. "That dog has been keeping the child away from traffic," observed paramedic Lisa Chen as rescue teams positioned themselves. "We need to approach slowly and let the dog know we're here to help, not threaten his protective mission." Animal Control Officer Mark Rodriguez, who had been searching for Bandit for months as part of efforts to find him a home, recognized the stray dog immediately. "That's the Border Collie we've been trying to rescue. He's been living on the streets but showing up around the daycare. Looks like we now know why." The rescue team used calm voices and slow movements to approach Lily and Bandit, allowing the dog to assess their intentions before getting close enough to safely secure the toddler. Bandit's response to the human rescuers demonstrated his intelligence and his understanding that help had finally arrived. The dog maintained his protective position until emergency responders were close enough to safely take custody of Lily, only then allowing his exhaustion and stress to show. "Good boy," Officer Rodriguez said softly as he approached Bandit. "You did an amazing job protecting her. You're a hero." Lily was uninjured but confused about why so many adults were suddenly very concerned about her location. From her perspective, she had been playing with a nice dog who wanted to play blocking games rather than letting her see the pretty cars up close. "Doggy kept me safe," Lily told the paramedics in her limited toddler vocabulary, unconsciously summarizing the life-saving intervention that had prevented a tragedy. Bandit allowed himself to be leashed by Officer Rodriguez, seemingly understanding that his protective mission was complete and that Lily was now safely in human care. Both Lily and Bandit were evaluated for any injuries or health issues related to their 23-minute ordeal near the highway. Lily showed no signs of injury or trauma, having been protected from both traffic danger and psychological stress by Bandit's calm, professional protective behavior. "Lily is perfectly fine," reported pediatric EMT Robert Chen. "The dog's protection was so effective that she probably doesn't even understand how much danger she was in. She thinks she was just playing with a friendly dog." Bandit was examined by veterinarian Dr. Amanda Foster, who found the stray dog to be in remarkable condition considering his months of street living. The Border Collie showed signs of stress from the protective mission, but no injuries from his life-saving intervention. "This dog conducted a textbook protective operation," Dr. Foster explained. "His positioning, movement control, and alert behavior were exactly what a professionally trained protection dog would do in similar circumstances." The incident prompted a comprehensive review of daycare security protocols and led to immediate repairs of the fence gap that had allowed Lily's escape. But the investigation also revealed the remarkable intelligence and protective behavior that Bandit had been displaying around the facility for months. Security camera footage shows that this dog has been patrolling the area around our daycare for months, Maria Gonzalez discovered during the incident review. He's been watching our children and positioning himself to respond to potential dangers. The investigation revealed that Bandit had previously interfered with other potential hazards around the daycare, including blocking a child who had wandered toward a construction area and alerting staff to a broken fence section that could have allowed escapes. This dog has essentially been providing unpaid security services for our facility, Maria realized. He appointed himself as a guardian for our children. The incident with Lily led to an immediate decision about Bandit's future. Multiple families offered to adopt the heroic dog, but the daycare staff and parents agreed that Bandit had already chosen his mission and his location. Bandit has shown us that he considers protecting our children to be his job, Maria Gonzalez announced. We're going to officially adopt him as our facility dog and give him the home and recognition he deserves. The adoption was supported by parents, staff, and the local community, who recognized that Bandit's protective instincts and intelligence made him an ideal guardian for children who needed exactly the kind of watchful care he provided naturally. Lily's parents, Carmen and David Rodriguez, were overwhelmed with gratitude and became major supporters of Bandit's official adoption by the daycare. Bandit's transition from street dog to facility guardian required some adjustment, but his intelligence and desire to protect children made the change smooth and successful. The Border Collie quickly adapted to regular meals, veterinary care, and the security of knowing his protective mission was officially recognized and supported. Bandit has found his calling, observed Dr. Jennifer Walsh, an animal behaviorist who studied his transition. He's gone from surviving on the streets to thriving in a role that matches his natural instincts and intelligence perfectly. The dog's presence at the daycare proved beneficial for both security and education, as children learned about animal care, responsibility, and the incredible capabilities of dogs who were given opportunities to use their intelligence and protective instincts. Bandit's official role at Sunshine Daycare included both companionship for the children and enhanced security monitoring of the facility's perimeter. The dog's intelligence and training made him an ideal early warning system for potential safety issues. Bandit notices things that humans miss, Maria Gonzalez observed after several months of his official employment. He alerts us to fence damage, unusual activity around the facility, and any situation that might pose risks to our children. The Border Collie's protective behavior extended to all the children at the facility, but he maintained a special vigilance toward Lily, seeming to remember their shared experience and his role in keeping her safe. 5 years after Bandit's highway rescue of Lily, the Border Collie continued his work as guardian and companion at Sunshine Daycare. Lily, now 7 years old, often told new children about how Bandit had saved her life when she was little. "Bandit kept me safe from the cars," Lily would explain with the pride of someone who had been protected by a real hero. "He's the smartest, bravest dog in the world." Their story continued to inspire communities and demonstrate the remarkable intelligence and protective instincts of dogs who were given opportunities to use their capabilities in service of those who needed protection most. Bandit had proven that heroism often comes from the most unexpected sources, and that sometimes our greatest protectors are the ones who choose us rather than the ones we choose. I still think about that afternoon when a 2-year-old girl wandered towards certain death on a busy highway, and a homeless Border Collie made a decision that transformed him from forgotten stray into guardian angel. If Bandit had prioritized his own safety, if he'd ignored the danger facing a child he'd never met before, if he'd lacked the intelligence and courage to maintain a protective barrier for 23 crucial minutes, Lily Rodriguez would have become another tragic statistic of childhood accidents that happen in split seconds. Bandit's story teaches us something profound about the hidden potential that exists in animals society has overlooked and the protective instincts that can emerge when intelligence meets compassion. This dog didn't just save a life, he proved that heroism recognizes no social boundaries and that our greatest protectors might be the ones we've forgotten to value. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever witnessed a stray animal's protective behavior toward children or their ability to sense danger that humans missed? Have you seen forgotten animals demonstrate intelligence and loyalty that challenged assumptions about their worth? These street-smart guardians might be more capable than we typically recognize. Share your experiences in the comments below, because at Saved by Tales, we believe that our most remarkable heroes often come from the most unexpected places, carrying wisdom earned through hardship and hearts big enough to risk everything for strangers who need protection. If Bandit's incredible story moved you, if it reminded you that heroism can emerge from the streets when courage meets crisis, please share this video with others who need to see what love looks like when it creates living barriers between children and danger. Hit that like button, subscribe to Saved by Tales, and help us continue telling the stories of forgotten animals whose intelligence and devotion prove that the greatest protectors are often the ones society overlooks until moments of crisis reveal their true worth. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes our most vigilant guardians are the ones who've learned to survive by caring for others, even when no one was caring for them.